everyone. This is the 21st learning material in the lecture series of Programming in C language. This is our fourth module. The loop control statement and subsection that we will be discussing is the while loop. Let's begin with the module. Friends, in our previous learning materials, we learned about the various decisional control statement in C language. Now we will move further and study about the loop control statement in C language. The very first and simple loop control statement we are going to learn is the while loop. Let's see first that what do we mean by the loop control instructions. The versatility of the computer lies in the ability to perform a set of instructions repeatedly. This involves repeating some portion of the program either a specified number of times or until a particular condition is being satisfied. This repetitive operation is done through a loop control instruction. There are total 3 types of loop control structures in the C language: the while loop, the for loop, the do while loop. Let's see some points about the while loop statement. Like most languages, C uses the keyword while to implement the decision control of the loop instruction. The keyword while tells the compiler that what follows is a decision control instruction. The instructions that are meant to be repeated are written in the curly brackets after the condition following the keyword while. If the condition is true, then the statement is executed. If the condition is false, then the statement is not executed. Instead, the program skips past it. The relational and logical operators are used directly to define the conditions. Let's understand the flow and structure of the while loop statement. The while loop is the simplest looping structure. It is often used when the number of times the loop to be executed is not known in advance but depends on test condition. The while is also called as entry control loop statement. The test condition is evaluated first, and if the test condition is true, then the body of loop is executed. The general syntax of while loop is while inside the opening and closing bracket, expression 1. Inside the curly braces, statement A, statement B, statement C. Expression 2. It is the top tested control loop, means the test condition is checked at the top of the loop body.
Let's use some ways to use the while loop statement. The module which will be repeated is called the body of the while loop. To define the repeatability of the loop, that is, how many times the loop should be repeated, the compiler requires a loop counter. As a general practice, we initialize the loop counter at the beginning, and as per the convenience, we either increment or decrement the counter. After the keyword while and before the conditional statement, there must be a space bar entered. After the conditional statement, don't use the semicolon because in C, the meaning of semicolon is the end of the current line. Problem arises because in while statement after the conditional, the next line is not mean as a new line but it means the associated next line.
Now let's actually get the hands down on the programming. For this entire section, we will be following some common outline. In this activity, programmers have the freedom to choose any of the apps from the downloaded 2 apps. Depending on the app, there are 2 different outlines. For all the programs that we will be discussing in this section, the lines written in the red color will be the same and is necessary to write for each program. Only the black colored lines will be different, and as per the requirement, we are going to discuss some example of the above discussed simple while statement. Here, let's see some example of simple while loop statement. In the first example, we have initialized 3 integer type of location with name count, num and mul. Then we have used the printf statement to ask the user to enter any number whose table we want to get. This number we have scanned from the memory location with the name num. The desired multiplication table we are going to save in memory location with name mul. Then to get the table of number, we put the simple while loop statement. Since we know that the while loop is used when the number of times the loop to be executed, here we require that 10 times the loop must be evaluated in order to get the table of specific number. So we use the test condition as while count less than equal to 10. If this condition is true, then the loop statement will be executed, that is mul is equal to mul into count. Each time the condition becomes true, the printf command inside the loop will be executed and mul will be printed. Also, the counter will be incremented by 1 every time the condition becomes true. In this way, up to the value of count equal to 10, the loop statement will be executed. After that, it will come out of the loop. Consider table of number 9. We can see that as we enter the input number as 9, we get the table in the format we have written in the printf statement inside the loop. Let's move on to the second example of simple while loop statement. In this second example, we have initialized 4 integer type of location with name capital A, num, sum, count. With the data type declaration, we have also initialized the value of the memory location, that is count equal to 0 and sum equal to 0. Then we have used the printf statement to ask the user to enter the count of number needs to be added. The same number will be scanned from the memory location with name num. Then we have used the simple while loop statement. Since we know that while loop is used when the number of times the loop to be executed, here we require that the loop must be executes as many as time the count of the number entered. So we use the test condition as while count less than num. If this condition is true, then the loop statement will be executed, that is sum is equal to sum plus a, where sum is one memory location which has initial value 0 in it. Each time the condition becomes true, the value of numbers will be added and saved in the memory location sum. Also, the counter will be incremented by 1 every time the condition becomes true. In this way, up to the value of num entered the loop, statements will be executed. After that, it will come out of the loop and finally the sum will be printed. Consider the example where the count of the number to be added is 7. As we enter the number as 2, 34, 7, 3, 5, 23, 9. The addition of these numbers according to the loop executions comes out to be 83. Use the apps and IDEs to write and run the programs discussed in this section. Here we have finished the hands-on part of this subsection.